I mean, Prisma Wing, which is under Paramount Studio, is well known for overpricing their stuff, but this is next level overpricing. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix this time around 25th to 30th of November. Alright, for this week, we have a moderate amount of genuine figures on pre-order, some really good ones. Meanwhile, on the third party side, things are a little bit boring. Yeah, not much stuff, but anyways, for our genuine figures section from Japan, and I've selected the scale figures I want to cover as usual, starting off with 1x4 scale. This week, we have Asher's Nay. Okay, Asher's Nay Barney version from Bastard. Yeah, a classic as well. This is pretty old. Last week, we have a blonde character. What was her name again? I can't remember her name. I'm not good at remembering names. Yeah, last week we had a blonde character. Now we have this dark elf, which is the more attractive one in my opinion. But only 2 characters, right? If you like the series, you get both. So this one is quite a bit more expensive at 40,000 yen, coming out in May next year, which is a pretty quick release. 6 months to go. And as for this figure, I don't really have much to complain. Not sure if the choice of white bunny suit is appropriate, but I think it contrasts pretty well. Yeah, for her skin color and her hair color as well. So overall, including the pose and everything else, this is a pretty nice looking freeing bunny figure. Can't say for the next one over here, which is a 1x4 scale B-style Azalane Voroshilov, devoted as the Warm Snow, 35,000 yen, September release next year. What the hell is this freeing? Okay, let's take a Hadaka figure of a very popular Azalane character. I don't know if the very popular part is true. I'm not very familiar with which character in Azalane is popular and which isn't. But let's take a popular game character and just wrap her up in white towel. Wet looking white towel. Oh, 35,000 yen. Here, take it or leave it. Yeah, I'll leave it. Not worth it. Please, please do not buy this. Please don't. 35k for this is absurd. What the heck is this, man? Just, I'm speechless at this point. Literally plain white towel. It does not even look like towel to me. I mean, if they at least, take some guidance from observing Taito's prize figures. And yes, I just said prize figures, Taito Core Full Series, where they try to make the cloth part look like real cloth, There are this cloth texture on it. This is a 1x4 scale, and if Taito could do that to a 1x7 scale prize figure, then that amount of detail is doable on a 1x4 scale PVC figure. Yet, all we get over here is something that looks like wax. Yeah, candle wax wrapping around the figure. I just couldn't justify 30,000 yen for this thing, not to mention 35. Right? Please don't buy this thing. This is going to bin after release for sure. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, we have a few updates over here. This selfie girl, which is an artwork by Hitomiya, went on pre-order last week on Amiami. But if you prefer to get it from HLJ, yes, as predicted, she is now available. And please do get the deluxe version, which is the one in this picture, together with that vanity mirror set behind her. Fantastic value for 7,000 yen. And she is really pretty. I love her character design. Moving on to the next one, also an update for last week. This was on OSGK, resin figure site. Now, because this is also a licensed resin statue, there are chances where it will make it to Japanese sites. So here we go, she is now available, holding A Perfect World by PJ Studio. 33,600 yen on HLJ if that is where I prefer to get her. September release next year. Fair price for a 1x6 scale licensed resin figure of this level of detail and that base over there. The next update over here. Okay, once again, I was like, whoa, you guys need to get this last week because it was so cheap. And yes, for a pair of girls having fun with each other by Brass Bell, it is less than 30,000 yen for a pair of 1x6 scale figure, which is incredible value once again. And If you want to get it from HLJ, you can get it now. It is now listed in HLJ. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. 1x6 skill, Shoujo Kaishun Shino Sakurase, illustration by Ninoko. Yeah, this thing is so yabai that I couldn't show much on screen, and they don't even have a real view of the picture that I can use as a substitute. Yeah, it is just a plain couch or plain sofa, I get it, but give us a real view of the figure so that I can use it as a substitute instead of cropping in so much, showing you guys only the face and not much else. Because, you know, YouTube has a problem with not only the amount of skin shown, but also the pose. If the pose is too suggestive, it is also a problem. So here we are. 18. 1x6 skill, 27,500 yen. I think this is one of the most expensive figures by 18 yet so far. Yeah, it is a relatively new PVC figure brand, relative new brand, and I don't think they have many figures that has been released yet. Maybe less than 5, right? I did not count. Not many. To me, while I do like the figure, there is no reason for me not to dislike this figure. At the same time, this feels generic, you know, like over the years, I have purchased quite a number of figures in this missionary pose, so it does not feel that special to me. It is all down to whether I like the character design or not. But for those of you who like her, maybe can consider it. Quite an attractive character design, not to mention you're getting 2 faceplates. And of course, I will vouch for the Ahegao face. Moving on to the next one. This is one of my favorite low budget figure. In fact, I wasn't sure whether to put this at the low budget section near the end of the HLJ section or include her with the 1x6 skills together with expensive ones. But here we are by Adamas, Chinese figure brand. Original character bunny girl tied up for only 18,000 yen. This is actually better value than you expect because this figure is fully cast of herbal. As in, you're getting an entire Hadaka body inside the box, like 1.5 figures, 1 3/4 figures. I don't think you're getting 2 heads, but you're getting almost 2 entire figures, the other one without any clothes on. So for that alone, 18k, oh, get one. And you know what? While I am not a big fan of giant melons hanging around like that, I'm kind of tempted to get one. For some reason, I think it is a bunny outfit being more detailed than usual. And secondly, the value proposition over here, it is hard to ignore, right? So this is a figure that I can highly recommend. And I mean, same title as one of Lisa's songs, Adamas. Which opening was that? Which anime opening? But anyways, don't worry about not knowing anything about this Chinese brand. Like, it is so new, can I trust them? Don't worry, because I have yet to see a bad Chinese figure brand. Either you get something totally average, which is still acceptable at this price points, or you get something more than what you bargained for, which is excellent. So, you can't go wrong. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. 1x6 skill again. We have a lot of 1x6ers this week. Koishi Komeji Deluxe Edition by Meiji Arts, more premium Chinese figure brand, 24,500 yen, June release next year. And there is absolutely no reason to save 1,500 yen and get the standard version, right? For only an additional 1,500 yen, you get 2 extra faceplates. How can you say no to that? And by all means, this is a super detailed figure. I remember this was revealed in OneFest a few months back. Now she is up for pre-order and she looks incredible. Like, Toho fans, you guys are eating good, man. After so many years. And from what I heard, Toho is incredibly popular in China apparently. Well, not my kind of thing. Like, I have enough things to be poisoned with, right? I don't want to get my hands into more franchises if I can. Moving on to the next figure right here. Alright, Max Factory. So, instead of re-releasing your ever-popular Chun-Li figure, which came out, was it a year ago? Not too long ago? You decided to give us a boring-looking Chun-Li figure. I actually do appreciate Max Factory going their way to sculpt a new figure for all of us, except this is pretty boring to look at, you know? Yeah, and the previous release where she is sitting on some kind of a concrete slab, that was amazing. That was incredible. And even though I did not purchase that figure because I am too poor, too much stuff to buy, right? You have to be selective. There were other YouTubers who purchased that Chun-Li figure and reviewed it, and they proceeded to say, this is like the best Chun-Li figure ever. So I told you guys, Max Factory is excellent. This is a little bit of a shame, really. I would prefer them to re-release the previous one, but this is not a bad looking Chun-Li figure either. And this is totally a scene, a screen straight out from the game, right? Like, she met up with Ryu and she requests for a fight right in the middle of a Chinese street in Chinatown or something like that. This is straight out from the game scene. 27,000 yen is on the expensive side, I know, but it is worth it for a Max Factory figure. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. 1x6 again, Freeing B-Style Hero Bunny is illustrated by Mignon, 27k. Ouch. May release next year. While the Chun-Li figure earlier pales in comparison to the first release, that is still a better buy than this Freeing figure, isn't it? But they're not comparable, right? They are not. Anyways, this is an apples to oranges comparison. Now back to this figure over here. It is up to you whether you like the artist or her artwork or not. Then you decide based on whether you get this figure. Of course, 27k for a 1x6 scale that is relatively simple. This is very overpriced to me, in my opinion. This is like 5,000 yen too much. But at the same time, I don't like the character design, so I feel a little bit conflicted by that. Maybe it will get a discount after release, maybe, I don't know. But with freeing stuff, there is a chance of that happening. Unless they make a figure of Lulumo and Kuromo, yeah, then that will go up in value regardless of the brand, right? I mean, this character, I don't know. Like, I'm not very familiar with the artist behind all these original characters, right? I'm a photographer, not a digital artist. Okay, moving on to the next one. 1x6 scale Mai Shiranui from the King of Fighters. That is 14. Yeah, 14. X1V, 14. And by any game, 20,000 yen, July release 2025, fortunately, not 2026. See, the thing with any game is that their figures are great. Not the most detailed thing out there, but their figures are great. Just that they are not too different from Japanese brands like Alter, where their figures take a long time to release and sometimes they still delay it further. But even though nowadays, I think Alter is a little bit more speedy than in the past. Any game has Azalea figures where you need to wait all the way to December next year or even in year 2026. So this one coming out in July is fairly quick in comparison. Mai Shiranui is a bit like the mascot character, the face of the game KOF itself, right? Like the game has so many characters, but she is the face, the representative of that game itself. So she is ever popular. She will keep getting new figures, both from the genuine ones and the third parties. This is a nice figure, a great figure. No complaints from me. 20k is worth it at 1x6 scale. Moving on to the next one, Good Smile Company. Finally. So Angel Police L, this is not the first figure of her. This is like the 4th or 5th figure of her, I think. There are edgy figure brands out there that made figure of her, but the one I remember best is the one by Union Creative. And the Union Creative one has bargain bins. At least that was the case a month or 2 months ago when I checked her value. Can get her for like 12,000 yen, the Union Creative one. I'm not sure if the discount is still there today, but over in Taobao, yes, you can find her cheaply as well. Like 500 to 600 Chinese yuan can get one. This is the Good Smile version where 21,600 yen is not too expensive either, and Good Smile's quality is going to be better than Union Creative. So that's one thing to think about, or you can just get multiple figures of this character if you like her so much, because this is quite a popular original art character from what I'm aware of. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many figures of her. October release next year, and can I recommend it? Good Smile in general is a safe purchase. They do screw up every once in a while, no? Every 2 or 3 years, they mess up a figure badly. But that is once every 3 years or so. I like her a lot. And for some reason, this figure, when I look at her closer up view, like this picture over here, she reminds me of the Fate series figures by Good Smile. For some reason, maybe the same team behind it. Both for the sculpting, the eye decal, and everything else. Yeah, they remind me of the Fate figures for some reason, I don't know. It feels like I'm looking at a close distant relative of Saber or Scarheart in some way. Probably the sculptor. Yeah, the sculptor behind this figure is probably the same one behind those Fate figures. I did not check, of course, but there is some resemblance. Like, you can tell sometimes an artwork or a photograph is by this specific artist, this specific author, because there is a specific style to their work. Yeah, it feels that way to me. Anyways, this is a good pre-order. And the next Good Smile figure, why are you doing this, man? Freeing is selling us 200,000 yen Japanese doll figures, and then Good Smile thinks it is a good idea to do the same thing to 1/7 scale. And of course, if they think it is a good idea, they will start it off with Hatsune Miku. Beauty looking back Miku version. This was revealed in One Fest a few months ago. In grey prototype, of course. But I did not expect it to be a Japanese doll figure featuring real cloth. I did not expect it. I thought it was just another scale figure of Miku. We get a few of those every year. But Japanese doll, why? At least give us a scale PVC version, 25,000 yen maybe. Yeah, with the good old PVC. Give us a normal PVC figure version, because this is actually an attractive version of Miku. She's not bad looking, but 126k. Maybe they are testing the market. Yeah, they are testing. Like, I'm sure they know they are not expecting to sell many of these, but if the sales numbers exceed their expectation, then you can expect Good Smile to keep churning out stuff like this. Yeah. I'm not sure if I can recommend this. My general answer for something like this would be no, and I would say the same thing with those Furyu 1/4 skills. Moving on to the next one by Apex Toys, we have a pair of Rika and Yume Minami set Chinese dress version from Gridman Universe. I haven't watched the movie yet. Yeah, I already have a copy in my computer, but I haven't watched it yet. 33,000 yen, almost December release next year. Apex Toys is also one of those companies that is making so many figures that they are barely keeping up, where nowadays every figure they make is a minimum 1 year wait. And yeah, who wears a pair of belts on their thighs, on their legs when they're wearing a Chinese dress? Literally no one. But they decided to do that on this figure just to tell us how thick and squishy and soft those thighs are, and I certainly am not objecting to this outfit design over here. That is fantastic. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's down here. Yeah, Rika is nothing without emphasis on the thighs, just like Ryza or Resilient Stout. So this is a little bit over 16,000 yen each from a top tier brand by today, Apex Toys. Yes, worth it. Chinese dress is a little bit overdone nowadays. So many figures in Chinese dress, but this is hard to refuse. 16k each, and you have some of the best looking Gridman Universe figures to get into a collection, to add to a collection. Yeah, this is great. And by the way, I have the same exact prop behind these two figures. Yeah, you can get them made, custom made in China from some prop sellers. I have the same thing in these images, including the background. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, there we go. 17k if purchased separately, where I don't see much of a reason to do so. So yeah, get the set. Okay, moving on to the next one here. This is a candidate for one of the worst figures of the year in terms of value. Okay, I should probably create my own a new category by the end of the year where I nominate the best figures of the year. It is an annual tradition on this channel. I should create a new channel for the most overpriced figures of the year. And this would qualify in top 3. Seriously. I've been doing figure news all year, and this has to be one of the worst value propositions yet so far. So we have a very plain looking Megurine Luka figure. Just a sweater, right? Yeah, that's like a sweater. And a base that reminds me of the worst possible bases you can find in the world of anime figures, which is pop-up parade bases from the past, the hexagonal ones. All these at 1/7 for 30,000 yen. I don't even know what words to use to insult Prisma Wing over here. But I mean, Prisma Wing, which is under Permanent Studio, is well known for overpricing their stuff, but this is next level overpricing. This is absurd. And as big of a fan as you are of Megurine Luka, please stay away from this thing. There is a trio of figures. I remember there's a Miku and a Land, right? Or Green. Yeah, 3 in a set. I remember that. But no, this is not worth it. Just now go to the used market and hunt for that 10-year-old Megurine Luka figure by Max Factory. Yeah, I used to own that figure. I sold it already to a very good friend of mine. She's taking good care of it. Yeah, she. But I don't see myself picking up another Luka figure at this point. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Okay, by PM Office A, formerly known as Plum, we have Love Life Nijigasaki High School Idol Club, Zhonglanju. 21,000 yen after a discount, April release next year. Yeah, there is an ongoing Love Life anime series at the moment, which I did not watch because, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the character design. And Love Life feels like Bandai and Mega Horse, you know, beating the dead horse. Like, maybe that is my opinion from outside Japan. But in Japan, I know that it is still incredibly popular. And as usual, Japanese brands, they don't really care much for our opinions outside of Japan. I don't know why, but this feels like a Gundam character rather than a Love Life character, you know? A dictatorship military character. Like, yeah, Zeon uniforms. Regardless of that, this is quite an attractive character for once. Like, the latest Love Life series, not a fan of character design, but this is nice. This is one of the better looking ones. And for 21,000 yen, pretty reasonable. Okay, moving on to the next one, Dragonball Arise Cell Explosion version by Plex. Yeah, Plex is almost exclusively making Dragon Ball figures nowadays. Maybe they hold the license, I don't know. 36k, and this thing is massive. I remember seeing the picture, not here, on Facebook, I think, where they showed a guy holding up this figure and it was like this big, it was like a pumpkin. Yeah, was this big. So if you love big gyats, if you love gyat, then maybe you can consider getting this thing. Okay, and the last figure on HLJ this week, we only have one low-cost figure, Pop-Up Red Panther, Persona 5 Royal. And wow, at 4,000 yen, you are actually getting a very nice gyat over there. The sculpt on this thing is not bad for Pop-Up Red, really. This looks better than I expected, but unfortunately, a big but over here. I would say approach this figure with caution, because Good Smile Company, they have a track record of, you know, not delivering on what was being promised in these pictures when it comes to pop-up red figures that has a shiny paintwork or a metallic paintwork. I think the best example is Saber Outer. That thing sold out, became rare and expensive, regardless of what I say, because people love Saber Outer. Now, the official product that they showed us, the armor, the purple armor, the violet armor was like, oh, super metallic, super shiny. And then when the actual figure comes out, it looks very dull, right? It is not shiny at all because metallic paint is very expensive. And now I'm seeing this Panther figure over here having a very shiny paintwork, very glossy paintwork, like what you would see in an actual leather suit. The problem is that will the actual figure look like this? I'm not so certain. Yeah, maybe you'll get a matte, dull finish, and yeah, Good Smile will say go F yourself. For those of you who decided to proceed and pre-order it because you can't afford the scale figures, my best advice for you is that be mentally prepared to get something that is not the same as these pictures over here. Not in terms of the sculpt, right? But in terms of the paint finish. Yeah, that's all I can say. And that is all for HLJ. Now we shall move on to Amiami for some exclusive items. Okay, before I proceed, this channel is now partners with Superbuy. I would like to let you guys know. I mentioned it only once. And Superbuy is a proxy service where you can buy from Taobao. You can't read Chinese, but you want to buy from Taobao because they have stuff that you can't get anywhere else because it is rare. Like the recent figure of, Yuna, the 1x4 scale Yuna figure. Some people are commenting, my version from Amiami does not have this printed art book. Apparently, that is a China exclusive. So if you want to get the figure from China, then yeah, Superbuy is a good place to start. So links in the descriptions below. If you want to sign up, make use of my link as a way of supporting this channel. Alright, now back to Amiami over here. Okay, we shall begin with the best figure this week. Hands down the best figure, to me at least. I'm so frustrated that this is not available in HLJ. That's where I would prefer to get my figures. Alice Sweet Home Limited Edition from Goddess of Victory Nikke. 1x7 scale by Amakuni. You know, this limited edition where you get the extra faceplate over there for 25,000 yen is not too bad. And that is including 10% tax, by the way. The standard version, 23k. Why? Right? Spend a little bit more and get that extra faceplate over here. This is not an Amiami exclusive, by the way. But for some reason, HLJ has a long history of not being able to get their hands on Amakuni stuff for reasons I don't know. So yeah, there aren't much choices over there for everyone else who want this figure. Either get it from Amiami or maybe Hobby Search, I don't know. I pre-ordered the one by Flare. Should be released by now, but it will take time to arrive at my doorstep. Do I want this one? Big yes, hell yeah. I want it. I want it. I love the character design. Yes, highly recommended. Moving on to the next one. Fat Company and Amiami exclusive because after release, this thing will bin. I guarantee you. Right? Okay, more on that later. So, PA15 Cow Bikini version. We first saw this like half a year ago in OneFest as well. Unpainted. From Girls, front line, 25,000 yen coming out in September 2025. So, on the surface, if I take these pictures at face value, this is an incredible looking figure of PA15. I love it so much. There is nothing for me to hate the figure. I mean, look at the sculpting around the belly region, the waist region. Oh, that is great sculpting. And I have never doubted Fat Company when it comes to sculpting. They are good in that aspect. The problem is where Fat Company would fail at is usually the paint work, right? QC issues. Yeah, paint transfer or paint bleeding, things like that. That is common with Fat Company. And for that reason, a lot of Fat Company figures, they bargain bin after release, regardless of their exclusivity status. Even more so in Taobao, China, Fat Company has released like 3 or 4 different PA15 figures by now. The Chinese dress version, blue and pink, the school uniform version, and then there are other versions as well. The Chinese dress version especially, regardless of the pink or the blue one, they were once as low as 450 or 500 Chinese yuan in China, in Taobao. Yeah. So if you are the kind who don't mind getting a figure that is slightly problematic in QC, because the figure is still great looking to you, yeah, get it from Taobao, where you can make use of Superbuy, or you wait for after release where it bargain bins on Amiami. And for that reason alone, where Fat Company's track record with bargain binning PA15 figures is almost 80 to 100%, I'm leaning towards the same thing happening to this figure, regardless of how good it looks in these promotional pictures, because promotional pictures are supposed to sell you the product, so they need to make it look as good as possible, right? I mean, 25k for a 1x6 scale is not expensive at all by all means. It is reasonable, right? But because I know that the price might drop after release, I'm a little bit reluctant to put down a pre-order if it was me, right? I am a cheapskate, that's the thing. So that is one thing to consider if you are the kind of person who is a bargain hunter like me, then you might want to hold off pre-ordering this thing. But if you want the figure, absolutely want it so badly on day one, then by all means pre-order it. I'm not going to stop you, right? I'm just voicing my opinion over here. Okay, moving on to the next one, another Amiami exclusive. We have Uma Musume Pretty Derby Mr. CB. Do you know what the word CB means in my native language? Yeah, in the Chinese dialect. Hokkien. It is a Chinese dialect. And even though it is a Chinese dialect, literally every person in my country knows the word CB. It means C-U-N-T. Yes. So we have Mr. CB over here. From Uma Musume, 27,000 yen at 1/7 scale. Now you say this is a little bit worse value than the 1/6 scale figure earlier, but at the same time, this is a more detailed looking figure. Coming out in August next year, 2025. And okay, my major concern with Fat Company stuff as usual, like her left sleeve over here, yeah, the two white color stripes. Normally that should be decal, right? But there are chances where they decide to paint it instead, and that is where you might see paint bleeding, or you know this gold color trim on the collar over here, the buttons, yeah, that is usually the weak point of Fat Company as a whole. But of course, this is a beautiful figure. I love the colors, man. I like it a lot. Seriously. There's nothing much to hate about this figure otherwise. And I think Uma Musume fans should still go for it. I mean, you're getting extra parts, different pose. Oh, this is why Fat Company makes me feel so conflicted, because they actually make stuff that I really like, but at the same time, I want to be careful with what I pre-order early. So yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here. This is a quick mention. I covered this like 2 weeks ago in Osh GK by Kuro Games. We have this Meteor series, the storekeeper from this game. Okay. What's the name of the game again? But anyways, I mentioned that it was weird that Japanese companies are not taking pre-orders for it. Even though the local stores in my own country are taking pre-orders, and now Amiami is taking it. Now it is an Amiami exclusive, apparently. Yeah. But 10,000 yen for 1/7 scale, not a bad buy at all, really. Moving on to the next figure. Okay, I'm beginning to regret what I just said earlier. I said that Nikke Alice was the best figure this week. Yeah, my best figure, because I like Nikke characters. But objectively, the most attractive, the most detailed figure this week, the best one has to be this one. I had forgotten about this one because she is not yet listed in HLJ, and I don't know if she will ever appear in HLJ, because I don't think Nocturne figures appear on HLJ that frequently, because Nocturne is like one of the premium ecchi figure brands, just like Native, and it is not every website you can get their hands on these figures, right? Okay, so from Taimanin RPG X, we have Adult Yukikaze, which I'm loving it. I like that slender body a lot. DX version for 43,000 yen, and if you don't want the effect parts, yeah, you can get this for 34k almost. And as an effect part hater, I have a problem with FOMO, fear of missing out, so I would still go for this one. This is partially customable because it is a Taimanin figure. It is a H title. It is going to be customable. So will I get one? I want it really badly. I want this very badly because in terms of character design, it is totally my kind of thing. I love this kind of body shapes. I love it. And this feels a little bit science fiction-ish. My kind of thing once again. And this is not a bad looking effect part. Yeah, not bad looking at all. Nocturne. No, as a brand, Nocturne, A plus, S tier. Yes, that is all you need to know. So yeah, get it. If you like it, get it. It is worth it. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have a low budget scale figure. 18K is not exactly low budget, but worth it. Worth it. Coming from a new Chinese brand, relatively new, Mimic, Volleyball Club Honoka Hisei 1/6 scale at 18K, coming out in January 2026. You have more than a year to save up for those plump. Let me repeat the same joke last week because you guys seemed to love it a lot. This is a lolly that I would love to plop, plop, plop. The sculpting is fabulous. Maybe I should get one. I'm going to bookmark it for now. And maybe, yeah, stalk Chinese figure sites, stalk Taobao and get it over there. There is a likelihood I would do that. Not to mention, I don't have a single figure of volleyball girl yet. I don't have any at all. Yeah, this is worth considering. My type of girl as well. Okay, moving on to the next one. The last three figures are from the adult section of Amiami. The first one here, Binding 1/4, Miki Saegusa Reverse Bunny. Yeah, whenever they say reverse, it means that the parts that are supposed to be covered with cloth, they expose everything, and the parts where you don't need to cover up, they cover it up. It is quite a trend nowadays, but not something I hate. I don't mind it at all. 40,000 yen coming out in July. Character design wise, I like it, but I think the best reverse bunny figure I've seen so far is a third party. Yeah, a Furina figure, Genshin Impact Furina figure. Was it by Arctic Wolf Studio? I think so. Can't remember which studio was it. This is not bad looking. Okay, and then moving on to the next one over here. Okay, the same figure, two versions, deluxe edition and standard edition. Small price difference. For the deluxe version, you get a Gengar Kikishi, right? What do you call that? And also a tapestry, I think. Yeah. So Saki illustrated by Yu 1/4 scale by Party Look, premium Chinese figure brand, at 45K almost. Yeah, for the premium one. Okay, while I say that it is better to get Chinese brand figures from China, there is one thing to be careful, and that is adult rated figures, right? Mature rated figures, where the China version will be missing the ecchi parts because they couldn't sell those kind of things in China now. They have new rules, right? So for Chinese ecchi figure brand, then you'll want to get it from Japanese websites, be it HLG or Amiami or anywhere else. Yeah, that is the one thing you need to be careful, and Party Look is one of those brands. And that is all for figures on Amiami. Our last stop would be Ninin Game for the Insight figures, where many other Japanese websites don't want to sell because they don't want to deal with the aftermath of complaints from customers saying that their figures arrive broken, right? Insight and B-Full figures, they break very easily, and the quality is not particularly good, but they sell very well. Apparently, the Japanese people are snatching them up, and some of them even get re-released, which we'll see in a moment. So the first one here, Gujira Shonen. This is a guy, this is a boy. Right? Yonokawa Shina. Why is the guy's name Shina? Anyways, it is meant to be a trap, I suppose. At 1/5 scale, he is only going for over 22,000 yen. So if you love Shotas, pick one up. And moving on to the next one, we have Captive 10th Elf, or just Dark Elf Glorwell at 1/6 scale 19K, or 1/4 scale at 29K. So this is just Asian toilet squat pose and an elf that is wearing almost nothing. So yeah, nothing too special in my opinion. Next one here. Oh, this is the best one on Ninin Game this week. It is so unfortunate that I couldn't show you guys the full picture, but please go and check out the pictures, right? It is worth your 1 minute. Himeko Nekoharu 1/5 scale at 23K. Do you guys have any idea how badly I want this one? Just because it is a big middle finger to SJWs. Okay, next one here, 4 versions of this. Neighbor Lady is an exhibitionist Mutsume. Yes, a re-release. So despite our complaints about the quality control and the fragility of inside figures, the Japanese don't care, right? Selling so well that she is getting a re-release. So this is 19k and 29k as usual, and there is the juicy version, whatever that means. I haven't seen the pictures. Let me say that right up front. I haven't checked the pictures. I'm guessing it is dripping wet down there. And if that is the case, I would prefer that because nobody likes it dry. Yeah. Okay. And that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Now we shall move on to third-party resin figures making use of OSGK, which is also this channel's partner for the third-party resin section. Not many stuff this week. And we shall begin with Anya, only one figure this week. So she's cosplaying Uzumaki Naruto now. By ZH Studio. So you can get her in pink hair or yellow hair. Yeah, this pink hair version. And the yellow hair one is, of course, the better choice in this case because she is supposed to be cosplaying, right? $116, a little bit pricey, but given what you're getting, I think it is not too bad. This looks amazing, really. The kind of crossover where you will never see a genuine figure brand do, right? Even if they go to the trouble, they go to the extent of collaborating, there's no guarantee that it would sell. So yeah. Moving on to the next one from LX Studio with Nami from One Piece. Only one One Piece figure this week. Onigashima version and 2 years later version. And we don't have price yet. This is an early bird pre-order. This is the Onigashima version. Looks nice. And the 2 years later version. The casual outfit. Tough choice, because the Nami I know, or the one I'm familiar with, is this one. She's always wearing that Shimapan striped bikini and a jeans. But this is the more detailed one, isn't it? Yeah, this is very detailed. I like this a lot. And the face there, no problems. She looks great. So what is my guess on the price, my prediction? $250. Yeah, it won't be more than $300. I'm guessing $250. Okay, moving on to the next one from Detective Conan, we have Shiho Miyano at $188. We have the black silk version. They meant the stockings, or not the dress color. Okay, or the bare legs one. When you are wearing a night dress to a party, a ball event, then I think this will look better. Looks more normal to me. Are you a stockings guy or a bare leg guy? I am a Zetai Roiki guy. I want high level stocking, which is not appropriate for an outfit like this. So $188 is fine, right? You don't get much Detective Conan figures nowadays. Moving on to the next one from Yams Collector Studio. This is a pretty good looking 2B figure at 1x4 scale, and there are so many versions and combinations over here, but I'm putting the pictures on screen. Basically, you're getting 2 different color options for a bunny outfit, and you can have the Hadaka version for extra for extra charge, right? So if you're going for the standard version, you're not interested, right, in the Hadaka version, then she is starting at only $238. Is this a one? Oh, this is a 1x6, not a 1x4, my bad. This is a 1x6 scale. Yeah, $238 can't be 1x4. Okay, anyways, starts at $238, can go all the way up to $531, because when you go all out for the deluxe version, you're getting almost 2 entire figures, right? Yeah, which is not necessarily a bad idea. I mean, if you want to display both on your shelf, one normally clothed version with the anime face and one Hadaka version with the realistic face. And in that case, not a bad idea to get the deluxe one, 2 entire figures if that is your kind of thing, because regardless of whether you go for the realistic or the anime face, I think both versions look very good in this version of 2B figure over here. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here from Monamojiang Studio. Original character, Shanghai mistakenly entered the red dust. What does that even mean? But because this is an original character by the company, it means that it is a licensed figure. At 1x4 scale, $489. This feels like a typical, a textbook, a stereotypical Chinese village girl you see in China, in more rural areas. Yeah, based on the art style and the outfit and the overall vibe of this figure. Not sure if I would like to have something like this. Well, definitely not. Not my kind of thing, but yeah, people who collect art statues in general might be interested in something like this. Moving on to the next one, Yozai Wenshin Studio is back with their 1x3 scale seamless dolls that you can display next to Dollface or BJDs. This is Kakudate, Karin, and one of their least impressive looking dolls. Yeah, and there are so many combinations depending on what outfit you want and how many faceplate you want. There are 3 faceplates over here. Starts from $359 and can go all the way up to $563. Yeah, so you have this faceplate over here, which I like a lot. Yeah, this is a doll, right? This is a doll, a Hegao faceplate. It is a staple. Just that she does not look as dark as I thought Karin was. Like the Max Factory version was like almost black in terms of her skin tone, but I like that one a lot. Yeah, the one she's in her maid outfit holding the big gun. I like that one a lot. This one, try and find the Max Factory version. This is for those of you who collect 1x3 scale dolls. Yeah. Moving on to the next one from SW Toys. Incarnation 1x6 scale by Yue Kui. Is this licensed or unlicensed? No, this is third party. Okay, $135 only at 1x6 scale. Not the best figure of her I've seen in terms of the face, but at $135, you know, I think I can accept it. It looks fine, and this is actually a seamless action figure. Yeah. There you go. This is an action figure, so $135 is actually great value given what you're getting. Coming out in September 2025. Moving on to the next one, we have another seamless action figure at 1x6 scale. My Shiranui again by Ninja Cat Studio, going for $186, coming out in September as well, and this is great, right? Realistic face, up to you whether you like it or not, and her thighs are appropriately thick. Yeah. $186 is also kind of reasonable. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Original character. So 1x6 scale silicone mobile doll Fox Fairy Qianping version. Original character. $130 only. September release. Yeah, action figure again. And this is a very attractive original character design. This feels like one of those characters you see in those Chinese dynasty stuff drama. Yeah, if you are an Asian, your parents probably enjoyed watching those shows on TV. Yeah, on satellite TV. So it feels like one of those kind of characters. Oh, this is beautiful. Very nice. Yeah, that Chinese village vibe going on, right? Not bad at all for $130, right? Okay, moving on to the next one, licensed resin figure. We have Arcane Season 2 Jinx medium sculpture from League of Legends by Riot Studio. What's the scale? 1x6, I think. No scale mentioned, but 26 to 35 cm 1x6. Okay, June release, $299. Okay. Oh god. You see, that's the thing with licensed figure brands, you know. They give people very low resolution pictures. Oh, but this is a very detailed figure. Oh, this is my kind of thing. I can't even zoom in. The pictures are so low res. So there is a likelihood that, HLJ will start taking pre-orders for this figure next week perhaps. Oh. When I see this, $299 doesn't feel that expensive anymore for a resin figure. Looking good. Alright, moving on to the next one, we have a chibi or super deformed SD figure of Free Run from Popo Studio. $88 coming out in June. This is actually quite big, you see. And at this size, $88 isn't so bad. So if you are the kind of person who like cute stuff, you might want to consider this. And with figures like this, right, the chances of them screwing up the face is near zero. I mean, have you seen Good Smile screwing up the face of their Nandroids in terms of eye alignment or things like that. No, because the face is so big, right? There's so much room for adjustment and stuff like that. So GB figures in general, you don't have to worry about the face. Okay, and that prop over there next to her, that is just a bonus. Yeah. Not bad at all for 88 bucks really, for what you're getting. Okay, moving on to the next one from Fish Head Studio. We have Monster Girl Quest, at least $218. For those of you who love Monster Musume, this is going to be your kind of thing, right? Oh, this is not bad. Not my kind of thing. But, oh, there's one exception. Yeah, FGO, that's right. If they make that Avenger Anna figure, even though it looks something like this, I would get one. Just because it is FGO. $218, and you guys saw the face. She looks fine. I am not going to scroll through because, yeah, you can partially cast off the top portion. Coming out in June 2025, not a long wait. And that base, I love it. Moving on to the next one. This is good. This looks good. So, some of you begged me to watch Dan Da Dan. I did not like it. I'm sorry, I did not like it. Yeah, there are not many shonen stuff, shonen genre anime that I actually like. There are a few rare exceptions, but 90% of the time, I don't enjoy them. Momo Ayase by Mask Studio. No price yet at 1/6 scale. Okay, let's have a look at the entire figure. That face sculpt couldn't get any better than this. This is really good face sculpt over there. Okay, wow, they just, come on. I know this is to tempt people to buy the detailed shots, but oh, that's why. This is a teaser picture. They don't have the full picture of the figure yet. This is an early bird pre-order. Depending on how complex the figure is, yeah, I would say between $250 to $299 as well for the pricing of this figure. And this is already one of the best, if not the best, looking figure of Momo Ayase yet. The genuine figure brands, yeah, they need to buckle up and come out with something impressive soon. They need to, right? Moving up next, from Candy House Studio, we have Suzuran from Arknights again, and this is probably the worst looking figure of her yet so far. The one by, which studio was it? Yeah, the one where she was hugging her legs, that was amazing. This one, it looks weird because we have a face that looks like that of a 5-year-old, and you take the face sculpt, the head, and slap it on a body that belongs to a 20-year-old. It looks so weird. Right, this is super weird, and I can't recommend it for that reason alone. There are other options out there. $237 Asian version and European American version. What is that supposed to mean? Okay, I just saw the European and American versions. Couldn't put them on screen because you already know why. Yeah, the ecchi version, where it is like the clothes down and the pantsu down, but how is that even European and American version? To me, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like Europe and America is not that more open-minded than Asians. Or in fact, I think the Japanese are more open-minded in a way when it comes to their sentiments and attitude towards adult content. At least that is the case by the end of 2024. Okay, moving on to the next one. Barney Studio, we have Honkai Star Rail Barney version of Acheron, $174, coming out in September 2025, and this is the only Honkai figure this week. No Genshin stuff. Okay, so this is the interesting part, is that Genshin is slowly dying off, right? And it might have been the correct decision for the genuine figure brands to ignore Genshin Impact. So Genshin will go down in the history as one of the most overrated games ever. Like, it blew up, right? Genshin Impact was responsible for this channel's growth initially back then, a couple of years ago. Responsible for pushing this channel into qualifying for the YouTube Partnership Program. But since then, since my Genshin figure reviews, nothing has ever truly gone viral on this channel. Like, this channel is a consistent performer, but we are talking about 30,000, 40,000 views per video hasn't happened since my Genshin reviews, right? I think there was a figure yellowing video that went over 20k or 30k, I don't know, but other than that, no. Genshin is on the way down. Yeah, so it might have been a good decision by the genuine brands to ignore Genshin when I think about it. And now Honkai Star Rail is also on a slow and steady decline from what I've noticed. Lesser and lesser figures coming from the third parties. The genuine brands, I don't see anyone else doing it other than Apex Toys because they almost have an exclusive right to these MiHoYoverse characters. Maybe Outer will do 1 or 2 characters that they like a lot, but I don't see that happening for the time being. And they have moved on to Zenless Zone Zero now. And it is too early to say how Triple Z will perform in the long term. But my prediction is that Triple Z will be no different from Honkai games. Like, it is just an above average game in terms of popularity. Yeah. So I don't see many figure brands picking up the characters to be made into figures either. That is the bad news I have. If you are a big fan of those MiHoYo characters in general. But Apex Toys is more than good enough. Their figures are great. So back to Kafka over here. Not Kafka. Back to Acheron over here. Hey, Steven, you like purple head waifus, right? Will you get one? Not this one. I mean, I'm interested in an Acheron figure. I don't know which one to get. And I still don't know if I will ever get one. By the way, I do have a Raiden Shogun figure coming. Like, I don't know when she is coming out. Should be by the end of the year. And yes, another purple head. So by right, I should be getting an Acheron figure. But until now, I haven't decided on one. And I don't know if I will ever get one. What is for sure is I won't be getting this one. Because this is a bit of a generic bunny figure. And I don't know, but it feels like the body sculpt is a little bit weird, you know? Those thighs are way too thin, way too slender. I don't think Acheron is that slender from what I remember. Yeah. So the body anatomy is already a little bit off with this figure. But at $174, which is considered on the near the budget end of resin figures in terms of pricing for 1/6 scale, I'm not expecting anything too outstanding with this figure of Acheron. Yeah. Not to mention, with Acheron, I think I prefer her Alter version, as I call it, the white hair version. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here. We have one single Blue Archive figure, JK Ichinose Asuna by Maya Studio. Early bird pre-order, no price yet, but no, this won't be $999. This is more like $150, $180. Looks terrible. This looks terrible. Details are low. The face is not particularly good. And that school desk over there, the genuine brands are doing it better. Yeah. It feels unrefined. So regardless of the pricing on this thing, even if it is as low as $150, I don't think I can recommend this one. Can forget about this figure. And the last one for today, which is kind of decent looking, Jinxie from Wuthering Waves at 1/6 scale by Yami Studio. Okay, this is a 1/6 scale and the regular version, $274. Okay, and then I think this is all you need, $274, not $455. There is a summer version coming, which my guess would be bikini, swimsuit, and probably customable. And if you get both, it is $455, which I don't see the point. Okay, so for this regular version over here, details are adequate, not bad at all. Oh, the decal work is nice over here. And the most important part, the face. Looks great, isn't it? Yeah, at least in these product pictures, she looks great. I hope that Yami Studio will do a perfect job on this figure, because this is very, very promising. I hope that they don't screw up the face, man. This is already one of the best looking Jinxie figures. Oh, this is the summer version. There we go. Because the last time I checked this listing a few days ago, there were no pictures yet for the summer version. So it is not bikini. I was wrong. Okay. This is rare for once. This feels like they copied some Saber or Miku vacation version figure. It feels that way to me. Okay, this is not bad at all. My opinion is that you just pick the one you prefer rather than getting both. I don't see the point. And why is my computer lagging so badly right now? Anyways, this is a good figure. One of the better ones in the third party section this week. And that is all for figures on pre-order this particular week. Which one will you pre-order? Let me know down in the comments below. And thank you very much for watching. Please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more content like this every week. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.